Hey guys, we got an action-packed episode for you today. I've got special guest Jason Nolan with me, and he wanted to catch a swordfish for Christmas. So grab your life jackets and hang on. This is a fun episode. We got a great catch and cook to follow it up. Hey guys, good morning and Merry Christmas. Captain Matt here with another edition of Tales from the Cleaning Station. So it's Christmas Eve. We had a great couple days out with Jason on the boat. He was down from Minnesota. He's an electrician. He was down actually working in the Keys here for a couple weeks, setting up a job for some of his guys. So anyway, on Thursday we caught a swordfish. Jason, can you tell us what's going on? Say hi to the camera. What's happening?
Got one on.
We're hooked up. All right, we're hooked up. Just got him hooked right now. He's loading the rod up a little bit here, so just gonna see what we can do with him. Stay tuned. Okay, fish is still on. We're up at about 230 feet from the fish right now. Come on, man. I got it. Fish is still on. Fish is still on. Fish is still on. Get this out of the way. Put that in there. Get that out of the way. Get that out of the way. All right, watch fish. Coming up. He's coming up. He's gonna jump. Here he comes. He's zooming the top. There he is, out of the water. Little guy, little guy. Look at him go. Nice. Okay, he jumps a couple times here. Now he's racing towards the engine. You can see the line flying back there. Had to give the boat a pretty good juice just to get away from him, but he was going right after him. You'll let him settle down. All right, he's going back down. Look at him. He's peeling the egg off. There he come back up. He's gonna jump again. There he goes. There he goes. Nice. Aren't they cool?
Take pictures now.
Oh, I got video going of the whole thing. Oh yeah, we got this. Camera's running, baby. Okay. If he's going under the motors, that's what I need to worry about. Nope. Stay on the fish. We're gonna get him up here and release him. Pull that bill under the boat. Yeah. Got it. Okay. There he goes. Down he goes. Awesome. First swordfish for Jason and Naomi. The bait still looks good. Jason, can you tell us what's happening?
Well, we got one on.
We caught the first one. We are hooked up. So stay tuned. We are at 1,204 revolutions to the fish. Yeah, he's going. He turned direction. He's going in now. You see the line's going that way. I got to turn in on him. I just want to keep the line coming. The hardest part's getting that damn weight off there first. That's the biggest deal we need to do. We're 100. Here comes the weight. Oh, fish is straight up. Keep it coming, keep it coming. Keep it wide open. Fish is straight up. Fish is straight up. Keep it wide open. Oh, come on. Fish still on? Fish is on. Great job, Jason.
He's pulling hard, Matt.
That's
he's gonna
right.
jump. He's jumping. Oh,
that's
shit. He just spit the hook before he jumped.
Yeah. All right. Man, that was a bummer. Fish came up. I didn't have time to tell Jason to back the drag down. When they start swatting at that line, you want to back the drag on the real way down in case they hit it like he did there, so they don't flip the hook out of their mouth. Jason, can you tell us what's happening?
Well, we're hooked up. Looks like a good one.
We got hammered. Fish is swimming the weight up right now.
It's really pulling drag on. Watching it.
Okay, I'm trying to get the weed off the line here. If you do this, originally I had the gaff turned around. Usually you take the foam into the gaff, you can bounce it on the line and get it off, but this thing is just kicking my butt right here. You hold the rod?
Yeah.
Swing it in towards me. You gotta pull back towards you till it locks. There you go. Nice work. Is fish still there? Yep. Okay, we're at 280 on the counter. Fish is still coming up. It's hard to tell which direction they're going while the weight's still on. I'm thinking he's out this way. 260. He's still coming up with it.
There it is.
Turn the side of the reel. Just help me a little bit. Help
Okay.
me a little bit. Keep going.
I'm going.
Fish is straight out. Fish is straight out. Real easy. Okay, fish is coming up. Fish coming up.
Jump,
Turn it
jump.
to high speed. Turn it to high speed. There he is, out of the water. Damn.
Slow it down now, Matt.
Yeah, slow it down to the second. Look at him going. Look at him going. Look at him. Slow it down a little bit. Slow it down a little bit. All right. All right, I got to get in here and drive the boat, man. You're on the reel.
Okay.
Take a step to your right. There you go. Work it from there, Jason.
Okay.
Look at him down in the water. Okay. It's all right. Just let the reel turn it. Yeah, you're right. Turn it up one more notch.
Gonna jump.
Okay, as we got the fish up to the top here, Jason and I are discussing. It's his fish. So do you want to keep the fish or release it? He decides we do want to keep the fish. We're getting a better look at it as he's coming up to the boat here. And we're going to make a decision. Hey, I want to at least measure it. They have to be 47 inches. I'm guessing this one's 50 to 52 inches. But I just want to make sure we pull a measurement on him. You see the gaff, I have a white piece of tape there. So from the inside of the hook of the gaff to the tape is 47 inches. So we're going to get the fish up beside the boat, put the gaff over the end of the tail, and just verify it's longer than that. Pull him over. Bill goes under the boat. Give me about a foot of line. Give me a foot of line. Give me a foot of line. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. It's getting real. I need you to come back here with us. Okay. Okay, so if you've ever been on a boat, when you got a hold of that swordfish, they are extremely strong. I've got 2 layers of gloves on here so I don't get cut again. But the things are extremely strong. We're going back and forth here. Jason's trying to get a good measurement on the fish. We've got it. The fish is at least 50 inches long. So we're going to work the fish into the boat. Jason's going to gaff him right here, and we're going to get the fish on the boat. Okay, one thing, if you guys go out and do this and you haven't done it before, where Jason's gaffing the fish here, now we got 2 gaffs on the fish, one on each side of the fish's head. We're letting that fish basically settle down, bleed out in the water here, because I don't want to drag that thing into the boat when it's green, because they go nuts and they're hard to control, and it's very dangerous having one of them in the boat with a sword on the front end of them. So just be really careful when you get to this point. Obviously, I'm very cautious when I get the fish up by the boat. I slide the bill underneath the boat, and the fish is perpendicular to the boat, so I can back him up just a little bit and grab a hold of that sword. They're very dangerous. You can see when they're flying out of the water how fast they can swing that sword. You definitely do not want to get hit by one of them. There we go. Oops, I gotta go a little bit this way.
Gotta get that tail on. So
Oh yeah. You cannot make that shit up. Hold on here. I'm gonna get hit. Well, you gotta get in the boat.
What?
You gotta get the fish back. I was gonna hit it. Hang on!
Be laying back there with the sword.
Okay, guys, I had a couple of you ask me what happens after you get the fish into the boat. Well, here's what kind of the process. First of all, we rinse down the boat and then we take photos of the fish, which we just did there. Next, I've got a large fish bag. This thing is insulated. I'm going to take this, unroll it. We're going to get the fish into the bag. And when you get a bigger fish, it takes a little work sometimes to get it in the bag. While we're doing this, I've got the boat on autopilot. It's heading back toward the barn, so to speak. And it's about a 29 nautical mile run back to the house. So the boat's kind of just cruising at a slow pace here, which is actually keeping it nice and steady. And I'm getting the bag ready. We're going to put the fish in the bag. Right underneath the bag where we had the fish sitting up where we're taking photos is actually the fish box for the boat. It's full of ice. Once we put the fish into the bag, we're going to fill the bag full of ice. And after we get back to the dock, the fish will pull the fish out onto the dock, completely fill that bag full of ice, and I keep the fish iced for a couple days prior to processing it. Okay, we just are on our way back from the sword grounds. We've got 4 frigates bombing the water here. So we're going to see what we got shaking. Okay, we've been on these birds for at least 15 minutes and still haven't got underneath them. The school of tuna is just flying. I'm pretty sure it's skipjacks.
There's one.
Oh, that's yours. Get him. Just let him run first. Let him. All right, just let him do his dump. Okay, that's a skippy. All right, I got you on heading hold. If we're not going fast enough, you gotta tell me.
Yeah. I'm not gaining on him.
Okay, we're hooked up. As you could hear by the reel, it was just sizzling. Very typical of a skipjack tuna. Them things have a lot of power, and when you first hook one, they're going to do a giant power run. Just let the fish do the run. Don't try to stop them. Don't crank up the drag. Just let the fish hammer out the power run so he gets tired out. A lot of times they'll do a second one, but it's not as big as the first one.
Yeah, flyers back there.
Yep.
They're right after the oh, that flyer.
Oh, you got him. You got him. You don't want to be the flyer today. Right behind the boat. We got the action. Okay, guys, you notice I'm doing wide left circles here. So I'm helping Jason gain line on the fish by turning into the fish a little bit. The big deal here is you got to have really good boat control when you're doing that. You don't want to get any slack in the line while you're doing it, but it's helping him probably get double the line back he would be getting just normally if I was going straight. So we're just working circles around that fish as Jason's pumping him up here. It's okay. Yep.
Okay, Matt.
All right, keep working him up. Oh yeah, you got a little ways to go, Jason. Keep working him up. Drop and reel. It's all right. He's a tuner. He's a skippy. Yep, he's skipjack. Got the wrong gaff. Okay. You can reach over and flip it into neutral if you want. Nope, never mind. Keep him on the prop. Keep him on the prop. Okay, total captain's still there. We keep repeating things until you guys do it when you're on the boat. If he gets off, I'm okay with it. We don't. One-handed gaff shot. There's your first skipjack.
Yeah.
There's Skippy. Okay, rod in this holder. Give me some line.
Yeah. Good.
Yep. I'm gonna grab the camera. One-handed gaff shot. Got the big gaps for the swordfish.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, where's the tough shot? Because a lot of times they'll slip right in between that small ones. Okay, on the way back in, we come across this Migrant Vessel here. You'll see on the side of the vessel, the Coast Guard has OK written on it. Once they've boarded the vessel and picked up the occupants, they write OK on the vessel. It's on both sides. We're burning a couple plugs here, one top water and one down below. This other boat was coming in from the other direction as well, so everybody's going to try a quick troll around the vessel. A lot of times there might be wahoo hanging underneath it, so a diving plug is nice to have rigged and ready on your boat in case you run into a situation like this. We troll past it a couple times but didn't get any hits. See the gas cans on the top of it, a little engine in the middle. We caught a swordfish. Today is Saturday. It's time to process the fish. So I'm gonna give you a little rundown what's going on. I've got the pressure washer out. You're gonna be saying, Matt, what's with the pressure washer? I'll show you soon. Swordfish is in a bag full of ice right now. Let's take a look. I haven't opened it today. I just got down here. Bag's full of ice. Move the fish in there. Really, really cold. Okay, that's how it's supposed to be. We've got the pressure washer. We're going to clean the fish up. I've got the cooler set up. I've got the Sawzall. That comes in handy when you want to, take the tail off the fish and stuff. Their backbone's pretty big. You can cut it with a knife, but I like the Sawzall. I got 4 knives on the table ready to roll. Water, pressure washer. So Merry Christmas. This is what I am doing this morning. I'm going to film this as I go. I'll put it on fast forward for you guys so you don't have to sit and watch every little detail. But here we go. Okay, here we go. Obviously got to get the fish out of the bag first thing. Once I got the fish out of the bag, I'm going to pressure wash it. You'll see kind of the dirt running off the side of the fish there. They're very dirty, so once you hit them with a pressure washer, that's an oscillating tip on it. It's an electric pressure washer. It doesn't have, a ton of power, so you're not going to hurt the fish at all. But it's a lot faster to do this with the pressure washer than to clean them up with a brush or something. Next, I'm going to take the sword off. You kind of go behind the eye to cut the sword off. I'm going to put the sword in my minnow trap and hang it in the canal for about a week here. After about a week, everything will eat off all the flesh basically, and all you'll be left with is the bone of the sword. So now I'm going to cut off the tail, the fins, just get down to the basic fish body per se. Or I can get it over on the fillet table and start working on it here. So what I like to do is once I get it over to the fillet table, I'm going to take and section the fish down here. One more fin to cut off, cleaning up the Sawzall obviously. So I'm going to cut 2 sections off each side of the fish here. I want to get that meat back into the cooler ASAP. So I keep my fish cleaning table very, very clean. I clean it with Dawn and water and a little bit of bleach before I start. So here I'm taking the sides off the fish. As soon as I get the sides off the fish, I'm going to put them into the cooler. The cooler is already chilled with ice, so I like to keep the fish as cold as possible. I don't leave my fillets sitting out. So there you see a good look at a cross section of one, but yeah, it popped right into the cooler. I'm going to take this side off, do the same with the other side, and then I'll start processing the fish from there piece by piece. Guys busy working on the fish here, and I got a visitor, little manatee. Okay, these guys are supposed to be vegetarians. Watch this. He's eating all my scraps. That one got away from him. It's a little bigger than what I've been throwing in, but typically on a bigger fish, I'll cut it down the middle right through that bloodline, and you'll have 2 separate sections here. On a fish this size, I'm just kind of doing it all as one, but I'm going to fillet these sections out. This is actually the side of the fish. So along the side of the fish, there's always, in between the bloodline here, there's this little strip here, which is a little firmer meat, but it is excellent for pasta and stuff like that. So I fillet that out as well. But I'll show you how I do that real quick. I typically like to run the steaks about an inch and a quarter thick. So on the smaller one, I'm going to fillet out, again, I'm going to fillet this out here. A lot of the restaurants, I think, cook them with a bloodline in it. Personally, I don't like it like that. So, trim it up a little bit, get the rest of the bloodline off. There you have about let's say it's about a 6-7 ounce swordfish steak. You've got the bloodline here in the middle, and in the middle of, running right down, this is the side of the fish, running right down the side, there's a main artery or something that runs right down there. I'll fillet that off, get this off. This will go in the crab pots. Okay, so you see the garbage can I'm putting the scraps in. Every piece of the fish that I discard will be put into my crab pots, so none of the fish actually gets wasted. Okay, so we got the bite-sized pieces here. I'll show you what I've got going in the cooler. So as we take a look in the cooler, I take all the meat and all the I put it in colanders basically. That way any juice can drain out of the bottom of the meat here. I'm gonna throw a couple of the steaks in there, but these bite-sized ones are just perfect for pasta. I've done that a few times. They're excellent. And then all the steaks I'll take and vac pack them from here. Again, this is my last section here. You can see, like I said, you can see the bloodline running down the middle of it. So I'm filleting this out down to here, and this side I'm filleting out down to here, and just trim it up from there. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts of how to fillet a swordfish. They're pretty simple. They're just really big. When you get a 200 to 300 pounder, it takes all day to cut one up. I mean, there's a lot of meat there, but it's a good problem to have. Hey guys, Captain Matt, welcome to my kitchen. Tonight I'm going to do a little different dish. You've seen a couple of the swordfish that we've grilled out, which is always fantastic. I'm doing a swordfish pasta tonight. So kind of the main ingredients, I've got some chunks of swordfish. One thing that I always do when I got fish in the fridge, notice there's a paper towel underneath it. You always want to keep a paper towel under your fish. You don't want it sitting in its own moisture. It'll go bad a lot quicker. So I change the paper towel every day. So with the pasta, I'm going to do a red sauce. I've got my own tomatoes. I'm going to cut these bad boys up, just blend them down, crush them up in the blender. Got a little oregano, red pepper flakes, parsley, capers, lemon. Can't make pasta without garlic. So that's kind of a simple recipe. We're going to use a little penny in with the recipe. So first thing, I'm going to crush up the tomatoes. You want to take, I always wash all my fruit. Now this is a really good point. Everything's been washed here. If you don't understand why I do that, next time you go to the grocery store, just stand in the vegetable aisle for about 15 minutes and watch people pick it up, put it back down, pick it up, put it back down. You want to wash your fruit. So tomatoes, basically, I'm kind of simple with it. I cut the core out of them. And they're hitting the blender. Okay, so I got the tomatoes kind of blended up in there. That's going to be the base for the sauce, essentially. Get that ready to go. First thing, I got the pan heating right now. It's getting close. That was a lot of work. That's why we have the mandatory cocktail for cooking. So right now the swordfish, I'm going to hit this. I'm going to pop it in the pan and just fry it off really quick here. Okay, we're there. You always want to check your temperature before you put it in. You don't want to get it in there while it's cold. Again, a little kosher salt here. I'm just eyeballing this as I go. I'll give you guys a quick show here as soon as I'm done. And pepper. I like grinding my own. It just gives it a lot different flavor. Okay, so here we go. The fish is just starting to cook off. While that's happening, we're going to have a little garlic in with it. I don't know if you can put too much garlic. You know, and if you can get fresh garlic, it's always the best. I like to chop the ends off, smack the garlic. When you crush it, it just brings that flavor out. Probably gonna put about 2 cloves on here. I always like to take a look at it once I get it cracked, just to see how it's looking. Sometimes you need 3, sometimes you need 1, just depends. But once you crush it, you can pop the skin right off. Time to flip the fish. My fish is, give me a good example, pulling out here. You can see it's not quite all the way done, but it's almost all the way done. You want to pull it out when it's at that level. Okay, I pulled off the capers. I like to take my capers and kind of give them a little light chopping as well. And these are pretty good size ones, so I like to chop them up just a little bit. So next thing, capers are going to go in there for a little less than a minute just to brown them up a little. Holy cow, if you can smell that, that is amazing. Okay, so once you start getting that, you can really start smelling them. Garlic goes in next. I like a little heat with my meal, so I'm going to add a little bit of red pepper flakes in with it. Probably got about 1.5 teaspoons in there. Basil thyme. Your spices you want to go through about once a year and clean them out because they do go bad. They don't really go bad, they just lose all their flavor. So the garlic is ground off. I'm going to add the tomatoes. Kick this thing down on low. Add a little bit of parsley in as well. Pasta is cooking. I'll give you a quick look here. Okay, here's the color. We want that to cook down a little more. So that's got another 10 minutes at least, probably 15. So the swordfish, which I've got in my bowl here, is ready. I'm going to take a lemon. I don't have a zester here, but I do have like a little bagel knife. So I'm just going to scrape this bad boy on there. I want to have about 1 teaspoon of that on there. Okay, you can see the sauce is simmering. Not a lot of moisture is running out of it right now. It's getting close. I just turned it down a little bit. The swordfish is ready to add in and heat through. Once the noodles, about 2 minutes left on the noodles. I haven't put the noodles in. They're just getting ready to pop in here. I've been just kind of taking my time. You can't rush a good sauce. You just gotta, sometimes they go a little quicker, sometimes they're a little slower. But that's 2-minute warning on the pasta. All right. I actually popped the swordfish in just a little earlier. I was looking at it, I put it in at about 3.5 to 4 minutes. If you want a little smaller chunks, it just falls apart right now. We've got about 1 minute left on the noodles. It's taste test time. A little bit, again, a little swordfish, a little pasta, got a little cheese on there. That's actually stupid good. Man, the smell is just intense. You guys smell that? That is amazing. Look at how gorgeous that is. Realistically, you can burn this thing out in 15 minutes if you're in a big hurry. I like to take my time, simmer the pasta down, grind my own tomatoes. But you can grab a can of crushed tomatoes. You can make this dish in 15 minutes. Again, I'm Captain Matt with Marathon Sport Fishing. Thank you for tuning in. Please smash that subscribe button.